the legendary Joe, and we are complete.
Perfect. So, welcome everyone to Shaldon Wildlife Trust. Thank you so much for coming along. My name is Zak, I'm the director here, and we're very, very excited to be hosting our first event with our poet in residence, Steven.
So thank you so much for joining us. I just wanted to say what the event will be like. It is a tour essentially, so we'll be walking by and maybe passing quite a lot of the animals at pace, because we're stopping at 5 different places where poets will read poems they've written just for tonight by the animals in question. So these poems are about the animals that they are being read nearby. So we'll meander through and stop, meander a bit more, stop, and so forth and so on. So you'll see the entire zoo and listen to 5 quite short readings. And I've had the pleasure tonight to extend the reach of this wonderful residency that I've had the chance to do by inviting David Spittle, Alan Wiles and Amy Cutler to join me. You'll meet them all as they read by the animals. Thank you so much again for coming, and we begin. Going up to the binturongs.
I'll try and project so you can hear me. I'm inside with him, just in case I'm not in a bush or anything like that. So this is Orson. He is one of our binturongs here at the zoo. The binturongs are our largest species that we hold at the zoo. At around 16 kilos, they're considerably larger than anything else we have here. This is Orson, our male. And he's the one that you tend to see sunbathing if you're regular visitors. But these guys are a little bit difficult to spot sometimes because they are technically nocturnal. This is why it works perfectly for these evening events, and also with a little bit of bait that we can get them out and you guys can get to see them. So they are a member of the viverrid family, which is the family that had civets, genets, oyans and linsangs in. And you're like, what on earth's a viverrid, Zak? Well, it's a member of the carnivore group of animals found in Africa and Asia, and these guys are the largest. Classed as vulnerable to extinction in the wild, threatened with things like deforestation, also taken for the pet trade. So, I will give him his last chick and then exit. I cannot promise he'll hang around for the whole performance.
Horrific! What is immediately apparent is that my poems can't match the actual sight of watching the animal in question. There may be a moment to see the binturong devour that dead chick. Yeah. It's like a Chinese delicacy, isn't it? The chicken feed. Amazing. You smell it? Okay, brilliant. I will stand here and read my poem. So, there are 2 binturongs here. This is one of them, Orson, and the other, perhaps more famed, is called Cassandra. It's a very special name for a binturong. Am I right? Cassandra. So this is my poem about Cassandra, which I will now read to you as the binturong goes, which is perfect. The Viverrid Shuffle. This binturong does not speak English. The oldest trick in the book, I think. Musk, it speaks, burning popcorn deliberately. Quite a night face, but flopped over a log. An etched face, a stone night animal, a happy camper with a fur mask. Nothing is personal for the Shaldon binturong except perhaps the knowledge it is yards from a cliff and the coastal trail to Torquay and the hills between it and there full of insects, berries and forgotten non-zoo animal skeletons. The binturong ambles, whisks and airs. It is the quiet big I am. It ropes and cats a sort of bear and balances aursonally. It is long enough from tail to tip to pretend wink. That is enough with the smell to break visitor hearts, and here at this zoo, fearlessly, the animal is named Cassandra. Thank you very much. Sure. Very good. This has begun well, thanks to Zak. And we move on to the margay. I'm glad that wasn't too long.
Do you want me to say a bit about the margay for you?
Yes, please.
Lovely. Brilliant. So we're now at our margay enclosure, and into the part that you can see, you'll be able to see two. So the ears that you see pricking up inside the nest box is Harper, who we say is our kitten, but at nearly 9 months old is really not much of a kitten anymore. And we have Mum up on this shelf up the top left here, who's just having a bit of a snooze. Now Dad also lives here at the zoo. He has his own accommodation just off the back. He's got his own outside, his own bedroom. And that's because Dads play no part in looking after kittens with margay. In fact, he'd be a danger to it, so we keep them separate. But Harper is coming up to the age of where she's going to be moving on to a new zoo in the near future. And actually, just before this event, I had an email from the zoo where she's going to, asking when we're going to be able to move her. Margays are a small cat species from South America, found kind of up from nearly, well, in kind of Mexico, coming down into the Amazon basin into Brazil. Classed as near threatened, but we're pretty sure that's going to go up at the next assessment. Again, impacted by things by deforestation, and these guys have been hunted for their pelts to use into kind of traditional clothing and things like that. But we're very successful. This is the third kitten we've bred here. They're a fantastic pair together. And we have animals, their offspring. One now lives in Berlin and another lives in a zoo in France. I'll get out the way.
Amazing. And ladies and gents, this is Amy Cutler for the margay.
This is a text inspired by Michael Moore's Rebel Lions, which he read with the lions in a zoo. And it follows the style of that, in that all the lines are exclamations and a general sort of hubbub of voices. Let's start a howling wind in a rainstorm howl. Let's start a raven roaring rainstorm, lion otters and foxes, darling foxes and darling lions. Let's have it, the margay. And I love the world for it, and I love this world, and this world loves me. Ode to the margay, for this is the cat I am becoming as I have lived through this night and feel what it feels to be a cat in its true wildness. Hair on end on my new wild self. I'm sitting at the heart of the night watching the galaxies spinning out from the depths of my soul to become the thing I truly am, the margay. We have our own way of doing things, and it has been said that our heart is a star. I'm in love with this beautiful little creature, and I hope that you are too. And we sing songs in high vibrato, and we do that thing that dancers do, and we sing songs of our own dreams, and we let the little margay go to find a new margay, and we go back to our own world, and we let the little margay go to find a new margay. Margay, come and play with us all day. Let's start a party for you, for the animals and creatures. Let's bring it all home. And I'm right there wondering what it would be like to be that cat walking by the tree and letting the world spin, for they are all the margay. Let's start a ruckus for you, little feline that's making its way into the heart and soul of the world. And did you know that the margay is a free-tailed cat? I didn't know that. Now I know. Hello, free-tailed cat. Hello, ragtime acrobat. Let's sing a song for the little leapers in the trees who can jump from tree to tree. Yes, hello margay, we're cousins. I'm a little ocelot. Let's go up that tree. Yes, that is quite a ride. Hello margay, this cave is like a jungle gym. I see in your eyes this crazy cat leaps a long way across the chasm between two tall trees. I'll be that margay that you never see, like the stars that are now within your eyes. And I'll never let go. And I'll keep going too. Yes, I will. I will keep going between branches until I break the barriers of all laws. And in these woods where I've come to live, and in this world where I've come to live, I think that there are no faces more glorious than the ones that I will see, with black moon eyes. In one region of South America where the margay is common, it is said that the animal's beautiful fur has a magical effect on snakes. They lose their poison if they bite a margay. Here's what I am thinking. The margay is a real and true animal poet. If I had my way, the margay would have all the lines in this margay poem, and I would have to be in the last line, the margay and I.
Hey! Superb. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, Amy. Now we go on to the lemurs.
Yep, if we head that way round, we'll probably have slightly more space.
Lemur time. Thank you very much.
Lemur time, yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
best of all times.
Should have a drum roll.
Hello.
Oh wow! It's amazing.
Wow. That's cool.
You guys want to keep on moving down?
Yep.
Window.
I did not script this.
This is pretty impressive.
Just walk through, go for it. He's just enjoying the view. Taking it in.
One like this. But it's your one instead. No, it's your one.
So we're now at kind of our area with our lemurs. So we have 4 species of lemurs here at the zoo. We've got our red bellies that are over there. We have our ring-tailed lemurs where we had a wonderful, completely not scripted, I didn't train them to do that, come over right to the window for you guys to see. And we have our red ruff lemur family over here. We also have grey mouse lemurs in another part of the zoo who are one of the smallest species of lemurs. So only found in the island of Madagascar off the coast of Africa. Lemurs, there's over 120 species of them, but they are one of the most threatened group of primates in the world. Believe it or not, there are now more ring-tailed lemurs in zoos worldwide than there are left in the wild. So zoos play a really important role in their conservation, not only through the breeding, but supporting programs in Madagascar, and we support one called the Lemur Conservation Organisation or Foundation, which works in the north of Madagascar to preserve some of the rarest lemurs there.
Ellen Wiles on the lemurs.
Hi everyone. Alright, great to be here and to have the chance to think about the lives and the incredible feats of decimated species. So I had a lot of fun creating this poem for and about ring-tailed lemurs. And before I perform it, I have a few questions. First up, hands up if you think that lemurs are cute. So I agree, but the more that I have researched them, the more I've realised they are, in a traditional sense, a really inspiring awe. So I've got my hand up, you might notice, in the form of a lemur tail that I made earlier. And it's a fun fact about lemurs that you may not know, that they stick their tails up like tour guides when they move around the forest to stay together in groups that are called troops. So does anyone know how many rings there are on a lemur's tail? Some people are going to count online. Well, they all have the same number, and the number is 13. So I thought about that when writing this poem. And to pay tribute to this particular lemur species, I decided to write a poem with 13 verses. Does anyone know of a famous person whose lucky number is 13? No? She's quite well known at the moment. Maybe people will have heard of her. She's called Taylor Swift. So I've taken inspiration from one of Taylor Swift's songs when crafting this poem. And tails and tailors, turns out they go together quite well. So the Swifties among you might recognise this song from her Lover album. And there's a song in there called Paper Rings, which I thought was really neat. But this is a different song. Next question. Who knows what domesticated animal a ring-tailed lemur sounds like when some of its troop members have spread out a bit and it wants to make sure that everyone stays together? Anyone happen to know that? Well, I didn't know that before researching this. It makes a character meow like a cat. So the animal's a cat when it wants to feel connected as a group. So I was thinking that we'd quite like to feel connected as a group in this event. So that leads me to a little bit of audience participation that I will need during this poem. So please do I hear your best collective meow? Meow. Okay, that's brilliant. So what I'd like you to do is do that each time that I conduct you with my lemur tail like this, which I'll do at the end of each of the 13 verses. So just do one more practice with my conducting flourish. Meow. Excellent. Okay, so let's begin. So the poem's title is actually a question. That question is, you forgot that we existed? You forgot that we existed? Well, we wanted to make sure that you didn't. So take this time to listen to these lines, for the world won't be the same without us in it. Meow. You think you know how to navigate? Well, in the rainforest, Google Maps won't cut it. We have scent glands in our wrists and also on our chests, and we use them for marking routes to forage. Meow. You don't know if you could smell it? Well, wait to hear how we could compel it. If you rile us, we can stink fight, smear perfume on our tails, and catapult them so you're showered in droplets. Meow. You're not sure how much we talk? Well, we meow when we want to be together. When an alarm needs to sound, we can bark like hounds. We purr softly to our babies and we can howl. Meow. You don't think we're that expressive? Well, then you haven't seen our pout face when we're begging, or our trumpet mouth for hooting, or our hard stare threat. You won't know we bare our teeth in submission. Meow. You don't know what we eat? Well, our favourite snack is tamarind from the tree. But we're optimistic omnivores. We'll guzzle spiders, sap and herbs, and at the zoo, the apples are a treat. Meow. You wonder how this pelt looks so damn fine? It's because we love grooming all the time. We have 6 special teeth in our lower jaws, unique, and we bond while making sure we look sublime. Meow. You want to know where lemur power lies? With females. Yes, we have a matriline. Girls take priority for food and for mates. Boys form a queue among themselves and have to wait. Meow. You think we're cute, but maybe not that clever? Well, let me put that right for you forever. We can organise a sequence, do maths functions even. We'll select preferred tools based on their function. Meow. You ask what we like to do for fun? Well, we adore doing yoga in the sun. White bellies to the sky, in lotus pose we lie, warming up before it's forage time. Meow. You're thinking, how are we doing in the wild? We hope our days aren't numbered, but we're frightened. Our forest habitat in Madagascar has been logged and pillaged. It's a disaster. So please don't forget us, or our cousins with their red ruffs. Don't let our species join those going under. No, join us now to raise a cheer for wonder. Meow. Yay.
Onwards we go to the insect.
It's also one of the warmer places in the zoo. It's probably about 25 degrees here at the moment. Many of the species in here, particularly the frogs, come from South America, and all bar one, which are the lemur leaf frogs, those guys there, they're nocturnal. The others are all part of the poison dart frog family. I'll draw your attention to these yellow guys over here. These are the second most poisonous frog in the world. A wild individual would have enough poison to kill, not quite everyone in the room, about 10 people off one frog, and those are some of the frogs that they use for the traditional blow dart or arrow hunting.
Thank you so much.
David Spittle, everybody!
Thank you. This is my ode to the frog. I don't really need to say any more than that. What a great name for a room. Acronyms aside, beautiful. So I sort of dance a little bit between the wondrous mollusk down here, the majestic slow-moving beast that is the giant African land snail, and some of the froggy wonder boys that frequent these gorgeous tanks. So, yeah, the frog room. Giant African land snail, naked grey in the cathedral. What scriptures and the glittering of going on and on joins, slow to hum with aerials, two to eye, the muffled hop and click, that now is hissing out a half-drowned radio in a thicket, transmit the wing itch in plectrum catch of stridulation, crickets a la carte, clap jaw with wet pad red, a tongue's adhesion to the head, or twitching legs lost movements, tuning to the whir and thrum, recalling agitated clockwork in the airbox, awaiting for the class, a flick, snack, vault or rustle, the residential chatter in the frog room. Or drop a few mealworm like writhing rice in handfuls to dance around the dial, let stations breathe in snow and listen to the sputtering. Humid is the soil, as the damp is the skin bright slider, the glass foot, the snail dream a dirt song, the oviduct and dart sack, hermaphrodite, the best of us, the neighbourly is trail slow from mouth blot of toe glides the wall heat, the shell keep the giant in the fruit peel, to mute announce the mucal bunker, deep sleep in steam room is readying the many glands, crown home the slime king, a throned room is mobile, moistening a flump sheen of burial like glamping in the skeleton. Part the second. Cubed, transparent village, framed by sauna-panelled wood of sheer plank, the timber slats of falsely weathered dignity, a sun-baked rustic gesture to the far away, each vivarium terrarium for staring in invariably the barely in of sight again declaring such a grain or sawdust plinth for holding up ghost tropics and the veiling condensation. So sleepy plastic fern, invoke from out the fog room frogs. Phantasmal, blue, leaf and Trinidad stream leap of the golden mantilla. Little eyes, the ink current, a blank pitch, the nightberry, other world blink from the quick of orange honey, pulled through with sun flare, the almond of its entirety, pinched form in the dark frog, the cute peril, slick minions of poison, Moranion, or the black legs spring up like wet buds from Hecate's earwax, skin drip electric numbering days that...
Yeah, go on.
Red light to read. Thank you.
Would help, wouldn't it?
It would.
Sitting on top of his log there.
Oh, wow.
There's a slender loris here if people would like to see it.
So this is Kaysoon, our slender loris, our male slender loris here at the zoo. Kaysoon's favourite hobby is watching people. He totally knows you are there. He is watching you guys. This is an anti-parasite, so they lick it on themselves and it causes ticks and things to drop off, and it can be a scent masker because it has the same smell apparently as cobra venom. Right, I'll stop talking, otherwise I'll talk for days about lorises.
Your information about lorises is far more fascinating than the poem that is about the colour, but thank you so much. This is my poem on the pygmy slow loris. Here I was watching sad clowns from a dark garden. I was being creatures that were, but also were not, real. I was all eyes. I was all eyes in the night. I was all eyes in the night that welcome in the wake. I was all ears in the jungle. I was a gire, the wrath of lizards. I was a fuzzy burning shore. I was a god of fur. I was slow. I ate rocks. Innocently. I built mountains of tiny skeletons and listened to cassettes from the depths. I was an anti-corporate lush. I had seen and been all and heard before. I was the ocular art of finding night animals in the glass. I had booties of steel and gum logs and tiny cannons. I was a jumpless pygmy. I was a careful motion as a weird form of defiance. I was the relative ability of elongating limbs. I was melting up while staying solid. I was infinitely cushioned and daftly attractive, like long fingers in thick gloves. All this I was, and then I looked down upon the tropical floor and saw stupid people saying I was cute, staring at me from below. My poison leaked from their mouths like water, and anaphylaxis spread like a knife. Buy my postcard, I whispered, or face the consequences. Thank you very much.
Postcards are available if you are interested. We'll be doing a rush job on those after this evening.
That is the end of the event. It was so nice to meet you all. Thank you for coming. We're doing another one in September with different poets, different animals. Please come in September for the other event. And thank you so much for coming. And thank you so much, Zak and Joe and all the poets who read tonight. It was a wonderful...
Thank you very much for all of you. It's been incredible.
Thank you.